What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Litecoin today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, you guys. Let's get into it, okay? Here we are sitting at $116. We did not break out yesterday like I thought we were going to. There are a couple coins, and a lot of coins were looking like they wanted to break out. Oftentimes, actually, if you notice, you'll notice this at times. It's whenever the market looks like it wants to break out, you'll see a pullback. It's whenever it looks like it wants to break to the downside, you'll see it pump. And you know, that's something that that's an observation I've made and that I've noticed over the years, and I didn't apply it to my thinking yesterday because all I saw was the sky. Litecoin, you've been waiting for a breakout. You deserve a breakout. It's coming. It's just making you wait, man. You have to be patient, right? You do not move to the top ends like this and consolidate above where you were. Come on now. Draw a straight line, as straight as I can. You don't break out of the zone, consolidate at the top of it for this long if you're going to do anything else but move up, right? If you were going to move down, you would have done it already, just like you did here, just like you did here, but you're not. You're consolidating. It's different. Different results or different environments could produce different results. That's what my expectation would be. We're looking at this on a weekly time frame right now. The RSI, to me, is still in a very bullish posturing. We could close this week red. We could close today red. Maybe we close it green, whatever, but we're still in this nice trajectory upwards. I don't expect this to come into jeopardy at all. I think it's going to be maintained and well-sustained, and we will see higher readings over the coming weeks, over the coming months, that not only get you into the overbought zone on the RSI, but take you to prices that are, you know, well above $250. Those targets are still on the table. So as far as that goes, right, I think a lot of you, anybody who's watched the videos that I've made recently, you're aware that I expect the price from a high to low. I expect it to go anywhere from 250 to 317, if not higher, by the end of February, if not by middle March, coming up in the next 4 to 6 weeks, something like that, right, is what I would expect. But we already know that, right? I've talked about that. I feel like I've talked about that at length a good bit of the time over the past couple weeks. So let's look at the short-term stuff right now, right? Looking at the daily aspect, looking at the daily RSI. Very kind of volatile right there, but I would expect right now it looks like you want to go lower, right? You got into the overbought zone, out of the overbought zone, rejecting the 60 twice here. The last time that you rejected the 60, the time that you rejected the 60 over here, you went all the way down to the 40. I suspect that's exactly what you're going to do on the bright side, and that's actually where you found support basically this whole time since August. You've just continued to find support here. So on the bright side, it's not too far away to go. On the downside, you're going to go down a little bit, but you're at 116 now. I suspect you do not break. You probably don't break below $100. You probably don't. Let's see. Low to high here. If you were to break below $100, the lowest I'd see you go is 97. But I think you will. I think you'll go right to $100, maybe at $101 there. You'll find support there. If not, then we're in this kind of false move down anyways. We're about to bounce here. I don't know. That's my only kind of other logic. If we don't make this move down essentially right now, today, or at least over the next couple days, then likely we're going to bounce here off the 0.5, which is an area that a lot of cryptos have been bouncing from recently, is their 0.5. But I don't anticipate that. The 1 hour, to me, it actually looks like a couple of these cryptos I've looked at today. The 1 hour kind of looks like it wants to move up, but you're overall in a downtrend, right? You might have one last move down, and I suspect that happens today. So you probably find your low today or tomorrow. It'll be something to build from. Man, if it is today or tomorrow, maybe you do bounce at your golden ratio. Again, I'm calling for $100 to 97. That's what I'm calling for. But you absolutely could find support at 108 to 105, right? But it's not that far away anyways. You're at 117 right now, so you probably move up to about 120, and then you start moving down again, okay? That's my expectation at the moment. Let's look at the 4 hour. The 4 hour too would suggest that you go lower, yes. At least getting into the oversold zone. I would think being this close, I would think you get to the oversold zone. Again, unless Bitcoin just rips from here. What's Bitcoin doing? If Bitcoin gets back above 101K, it'll reverse this move entirely. The bearish effects of this new day of yesterday's close, they'd be taken out completely. So if Bitcoin gets above 101K on a closing basis for the 4-hour time frame, if we see that, likely Litecoin does not go lower. It doesn't go to the areas that I'm talking about. It too would likely move up, and it probably moves up more than Bitcoin does. And I think we could actually measure that if we look at LTC. This is something we haven't looked at in a second, but LTC versus BTC, right? Looking at this on a 3-day time frame, sure. I mean, to be fair, it looks like Litecoin's in an uptrend versus BTC, and you're at the base of this where you'd find support. So yes, it would make sense. What this is telling us then, you have 18 hours, 19 minutes left in this 3-day time frame. It might not be today, but over the next 3-day period, we would expect Litecoin to outperform Bitcoin, likely, if not on par with Bitcoin. So that means if Bitcoin moves down, Litecoin moves just as much down. If Bitcoin moves up, Litecoin moves just as much up, if it just stays here. But likely it won't. It will probably recover and move up. So Litecoin will likely outperform Bitcoin over the coming week and probably weeks afterward, man. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but this chart, you look at it, it looks, no, that's not what I meant to do. Maybe we should look at it on a weekly basis. Yeah. It looks to me like you've got this kind of rounded bottom here. We like round bottoms. Round bottoms, you could look it up, rounded bottom patterns, skillet, whatever you want to call it. They tend to indicate that you're going to see a retracement, right? And I'm not saying that Litecoin's going to obliterate Bitcoin. It's going to go to new all-time highs. But even if you just take these like lower highs into consideration, you know, something up more than 100% from here probably versus Bitcoin. And that could take the rest of the cycle. It doesn't have to be like today or tomorrow. But I don't know, man. Maybe you do break this downtrend. I'm curious. I might need to make my next Litecoin video about this, because I got to be honest with how you're shaped up right now. Litecoin's only going to do that for the rest of the cycle? I don't think so, man. I think you might break this. And if you break that, I bet that coincides with Litecoin breaking out of its all-time highs. That could be a huge signal, you guys. That really could be. Yeah. We'll go from there whenever the time comes. I'm going to do a more in-depth analysis kind of on this Bitcoin pairing tomorrow. I need to get some sleep, man. I'm tired. I will see you guys on the next one. Hit the like button, subscribe, and just remember, I think that the price for Litecoin, it really does depend on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin can close a 4-hour period above $101,000, I think Litecoin is not moving lower. If, however, this is the real deal and crypto is going through a momentary correction to start off February, which is fine, whatever, then probably at the lowest I'd see Litecoin go is $97. But likely you probably hold $100. Okay, guys, that's all I got. Take care. See you on the next one. Bye.